What's up guys, Sean here. Today I'm reviewing the Spyderco Paramilitary2 Tanto. This is a Blade HQ exclusive. This one right here is in S30V blade steel and has a DLC blade. These Tantos feature a compound grind with a flat on the tip and a hollow grind on the flat. They also have some other grinds to the knife, like kind of a swedge at the top up here. Very, very cool looking grind. This is not the factory edge. This is an edge that my buddy put on. This knife is in for review from a buddy of mine, Micah. So shout out to Micah. He has been a great supporter of the channel. So yeah, this guy right here, all blacked out, pretty sweet looking. Kind of wish they would have blacked out the liners too, because that's something that they've been doing with some of the newer exclusives. And this blade, typically Spyderco was doing the DLC coated blades, but this is actually a PVD coating this time. You get a 3.44 inch blade with 3 1/4 inches of cutting edge, which is pretty cool because the standard PM2 gives you 3 inches of cutting edge. So you get an extra 1/4 inch of cutting edge. Has the same 4.8 inch handle. So it's the same as a regular PM2, but the only difference being this blade. And this is really cool blade, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely underestimated how cool these were. If you look around the thumb hole right here, one thing that's different on this compared to a regular one is this is kind of softened up around the thumb and it's a little bit thicker right here. So it's really comfortable. Probably the most comfortable Spyderco hole on a blade that I felt. Very, very cool. The action on this one is excellent. Has a very good detent. Fires out there nice and strong. And this blade actually has a little bit more weight to it than the standard version. This knife comes in at 4.2 ounces and the standard version comes in at 3.75. So not a huge difference, but it's definitely noticeable. Not in a bad way necessarily, because with the blade having that little extra amount of weight, it really makes the action feel good. That blade really pops out there. You feel the recoil. Really fun to play with this one. It is free dropping without any modifications. Didn't have to take this apart or anything. This is just how it came. Came out of the box with good action. So that's good to see. This is a USA made Spyderco. This knife is made in Golden, Colorado. Let's see if I get the focus there. There you go. For the hardware, same as all the other PM2s. T10 TORX pivot screw, T8s on the scale, and T6s for the clip. That's pretty standard for 99.9% of Spydercos. Let's see, anything else cool about this knife? Let's see. This design is intended to fill more of a tactical role, but it it works great as an EDC knife. This one really surprised me. I didn't think it was gonna cut as good as it does, because if you take a look here, I got a standard PM2 blade shape right here. This is a lot more thin and slicey. It's just a flat grind, but once you reprofile that edge down to a 17 degrees per side bevel, you get some really nice slicing with this guy. This being a little bit thicker of a blade, the nice hollow grind throughout here really helps make up for that added thickness to the blade. Now, you're not going to be able to tell exactly that this is a much thicker blade, because at the top here we have a a swedge. So if that swedge wasn't there, you would be able to see the full thickness, which the thickness on this blade is at the center, versus the thickness on this blade is up at the top. So if that thickness carried up to the top, it would be really wide. But yeah, I think they did a good job with this one. Let's talk about price. These came in at $192.95, which in my opinion, is a little bit high for a Spyderco with Spyderco with S30V blade steel. S30V is fine, but it's kind of getting a little bit outdated. It was known as the kind of the standard for your entry to higher end knives. So your $150 and up range, like $150 to $200. But I mean, since then, a lot of much more premium steels have been coming in at that same price point. You see a lot of 20 CV, CPM 154, 154 CM. You even see M390, 14C 28N. There's a lot of stuff. So, S30V for 200 bucks. It's a little bit of a tough one for me to swallow personally, but I will tell you, I've used this a good bit since it's been sent in to me, and this S30V has been performing pretty damn good. It has held an edge very well, no deformation, it strops really well, stays nice and sharp, so can't really complain too much. And if you think about it, it takes a lot more work. This is a much more complicated blade grind, and you know, a standard Paramilitary 2 comes in around you know, like 170. So you're looking at extra 20-25 bucks cost for, if I had to guess, it would have to do with this blade grind being more expensive to produce. So we have that there. The fit and finish on this is really good. It's what you would expect from Spyderco. It's perfectly centered, even grinds, which was nice to see. I know on the first couple runs of these in the M4 blades, they had a lot of issues with uneven grinds, but this grind on this one is perfectly even side to side, which is very nice to see. That's actually one of the biggest reasons that I had held off on getting one of these, because I heard about all the issues with uneven grinds, and with me being OCD, that's just not something that I wanted to deal with. But there is absolutely zero blade play. This thing is locks up rock solid, no lock stick. Like I said before, it has a very nice, I would say damn near perfect detent on this one. So all around in the action category, fit and finish category, they did really good job. Ease of maintenance is pretty good. I find it very easy to you know, take these apart, maintenance them, do all kinds of stuff with them. But I have a lot of experience with Spydercos. I've been, you know, modifying and messing with Spydercos for a long time now, but it's really not difficult. This knife is on phosphor bronze washers, but with as smooth as it is, you would think that this is on bearings. I mean, it is really, really nice, smooth action. You get the compression lock. I'm sure if you're watching this video, most likely you like Spydercos, and you probably have a handful of knives with compression locks, because once you get one, you know, that's kind of it. It's all downhill from there. You're gonna be, you know, you're gonna get the Spyderco bug, because it is just that good of a lock. It's very fidgety, it's very strong, so it functions extremely well. It's safer than a lot of other locks because your fingers don't have to cross the blade path. Yeah, I mean, all around great knife. If you have a Paramilitary 2 standard blade shape and you're, you know, wondering if you should get this, and you're, you know, kind of thinking, I don't really need another PM2. Is it really that much different? Is it, you know, is there enough difference in this versus, well, this is not standard, this is fancy. I don't have many standard style knives, but the answer is yes. This is a really cool knife. I've said it many times now. This knife really surprised me. I mean, I knew to an extent that I was gonna like this, but I wasn't super excited for it because I've had so many PM2s. I mean, it's crazy. So I wasn't super excited, but once I got this in hand, I've been carrying this thing a lot. It is really, really cool knife. They are not currently available at the moment. I'm sure you can find them on the secondary market, especially at places like the MILLIE Club, which is a Facebook group. It is the Spyderco MILLIE PM2 Para 3 Club. They have a daily buy sell trade post, and you can find stuff like this all day for good prices with very minimal to no markup. Great guys over there. Highly recommend it. That is you know, probably the best group of guys in the entire knife community that I know. Very grateful to be a part of that community. So you want to talk about carry, it carries like a PM2. Not any difference there. Ergonomics, not any difference there. Cutting, there is a little bit of a difference. It's not as slicey, but at the same time, it's really not that much of a difference either. I mean, I can tell you right now, a lot of people are not gonna be able to tell much of a difference at all in how this cuts versus the standard PM2. But there is some differences, I would say some benefits to this blade shape, because you essentially have two tips. And you have a nice long flap with the hollow grind right here. It's really good for a lot of utility tasks. Then of course tactical roll, but I mean you can use anything for a tactical roll technically. I mean it's just a cool knife, guys. I am a sucker for compound grinds. Cool blade grinds really impress me. Where this blade grind really shines is on the satin finish version of these, where you can see all the grind lines and everything that are, you know, really differentiated due to the, you know, direction of the grind lines and everything. With this PVD coating on here, it really kind of conceals a lot of that complexity of this blade grind. I wish I could show it to you guys better, but at the moment my camera is not the best, but I am getting something, a really nice one here really soon, so you guys will be able to see everything much better. Also would help if this thing ever wanted to focus, but hopefully you guys get the idea. Great knife, really like it. If you guys have a chance to, make sure you grab one of these, because I do not believe you will be disappointed. Other than that, let me show you what I've been carrying today. I've been carrying my new Microtech Ultratech, which also happens to be a Tanto. Very cool, very fidgety, and it actually cuts better than I thought it would. I was pretty impressed. This thing's been pretty cool, nice and slim in the pocket. let's see. It's also really light. And then, of course, my baby. It is really, really hard for me to not carry this knife, guys. My limit for how many knives I can carry comfortably, and what I think is, you know, any slight amount of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Reasonable, normal, acceptable. I don't know. You guys know what I'm trying to say, hopefully. But 3 is kind of like my my maximum limit for what I can have in my pockets and it not be a nuisance. And oftentimes I will be carrying a knife that I am reviewing, and I will primarily use that so I can really, you know, focus on how it does throughout any type of normal EDC tests that come up, and that helps allow me to give you guys the most accurate and informative reviews possible. But this one always has to be with me. Ever since I got this thing, this has not really left my pocket. It's an expensive knife, but I mean, I think there's a reason for that. And the quality of this just really shines. It's the perceived value when you have this in your hand. You're like, okay, I understand now. It's kind of hard to understand until, you know, say you have a ton of Spydercos or you have Benchmades or something like that that's considered nicer knives, and then you get something like this in hand. It really helps you get a good idea and understand what this next tier of knives is really all about. So yeah, this one stays with me at all times. I can't help it. And then of course I was carrying this guy right here. So, oh man, this thing is doing a fucking horrible job focusing today. So I really apologize about that, guys. But I gotta start being a little bit less picky with my videoing, because realistically I can only get it so good with the equipment that I'm currently working with. And you know, when I stress out so much about the video quality and if it's gonna look good, that really hampers my ability to bring you guys content steadily, because it takes a lot more time and I have to sit around and wait for the perfect you know, circumstances and everything. And I feel like, you know, maybe I'm being just a little bit too OCD and too crazy with it, and I want to get this information out to you guys. So hope you guys can understand and appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching. Hope everyone's having a great day. And as always, stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next one. Toodaloo, motherfuckers.